What's up, bro? It's me, the professor. Hey, listen. I like it when you guys listen to our suggestions. And the reason why I even come online and do any suggestions to any of you guys at all is because I was exactly where you are. You were on your way overseas. You were going to get your passport. But my story is much different than many of you. You easily got your passport and moved the fuck on and now are in other countries. I did not. No, my situation was very different. I was a victim of paternity fraud for 18 years, and I was paying child support on a kid that was taken to Turkey that wasn't mine at all, and my own kid, which was a bankruptcy in and of itself, which they should have written in the memo section of the check, this is a holdup, because it's precisely what it was every month. Shafted by the court system, no family support whatsoever. Nobody in my family was going to stand on my side because I was the guy. And in reality, all they did was split up a family even further and then learn to alienate the father. And that's exactly and precisely what happened to me. And that sucks for me because I wanted to be with my kid. And I come to find out many, many fathers like myself wanted to be with their kid. And the women, because the man broke up with them or whatever reason, he cheated or whatever, used the kid as a weapon against us, using the kid, saying that we're not shit, that we didn't want to be around and all that stuff. That was all bullshit, so they could alienate us and have validation for that. And have an excuse. And they could run back to paternity court or to the family court and say he's not participating, when they would make it difficult for us to see the kid. Now, my specific situation, I was a homeless veteran. I didn't have a car. I got a job. I got a vehicle. And shortly after I got that vehicle, my own mother took that vehicle from my house with the key that she had and then gave it to my aunt. And then I could no longer go to the great job. I got a job doing fire sprinklers, paying like $35 an hour. And I was stoked. I was finally going to do my thing. I was doing the right thing. And then my rug was pulled completely because I worked far. I was working so many miles away. Now, also, remember something. Compounded with that, I'm a mess upstairs because I had just gotten back from the fucking military. From the fucking war. And no one at that time knew how to deal with PTSD. So for all these years, I've been overseas. I have found a treatment for PTSD. I have discovered that parental alienation is a thing. And that happened to me with my own daughter. A parental alienation means that they keep the kid and make it inconvenient and almost impossible to see your kid. And you tell your kid, oh, he doesn't want nothing to do with you. That's alienation, and it is a form of child abuse. Not paying child support is not a form of child abuse. Go figure. But you can see how this is very much against fathers, very much weighted against me personally. Now, what I come to find out is that a lot of veterans, like myself, have also gone through the system, chewed through the family courts, and we do have options. And there are things that many war combat veterans that can apply in this situation. Now, I'm not going to talk about it on here. If you want to talk about what benefits a veteran can get in family court, send me a message. If you don't watch my videos, there's tons of them that say over and over again that you're entitled to certain things. What happened to me was I was $70,000 in the hole for a kid that wasn't mine. Couldn't renew my passport. And I was pissed off because I had less than 6 months on my last passport. I could have fucking left and been gone and said, fuck that shit. So now the baby mama terrorist is keeping the kid away from me. Going to the court as often as possible to tell them I'm not paying on time, so to suspend my license, which was 12 times over a period of years. Then, oh, this is even richer. This is even richer. This is, you see, this is the best part of like these kind of rants, is that you look at them as if you were a victim. Oh, no, motherfuckers. I was an active participant in all this chicanery. All of it. From my motherfucking taking my vehicle to me getting a job that I wasn't even qualified to fucking do. And I look back on this shit and I look at my own part. All of it was chicanery. I was so out of place. I did not need to be in the U.S. I'm not meant to be in the U.S. I'm not meant to be around people there, especially the ladies there. What the fuck? Whoa. No thanks. No way. I mean, think about this. When I was a little boy, I had a babysitter named Maria. She was from Cuba. She had long black hair. I'm pretty sure she was in high school, and I would think I was 2 or 3 at the time. And she taught me how to say letters and colors in Spanish. And I really fell in love with that girl. And I was a little boy. And people say that we go running overseas looking for whores and all this shit. Well, I guess guys that can't get girls easily, if you're really short and you're insecure about going and talking to a girl, you could do that. If you're a really fat guy, you could do that. If you're a fat guy with no game, or was not going to the gym and not trying to get in shape, you could do that. Where am I going with this? Well, my point is that we got to get together as guys, as veterans. Stop looking at... Listen, I've been in the manosphere fucking longer than most of you guys have even been alive. So let's not fuck around, okay? I got kicked out of fucking Colombia. Google, excuse me. Got kicked out of YouTube, Colombia, thanks to Google. Feminists came at me from fucking Google. Some motherfuckers sent viruses to my computer from Google. Ho ho, I got you, bitch. I even read the whole conversations they were having on my computer. Fuck you. I've been in the manosphere. What color am I? I'm the color of veteran. I'm the fucking green. But I'm giving you guys these tips because I had to go through all this shit. And I don't think it's necessary. If you're de-roasting, get the fuck out. Don't even bother. Stay overseas. If you're in Germany, stay to fucking Germany. I guess. I don't know if you feel like staying there. But I wouldn't go to the U.S. Unless you would go to maybe one of the other Commonwealths. You know, maybe go to Guam. Maybe go to the United Virgin Islands. That's a good place for you motherfuckers just want to go somewhere and disappear. I know you fucking motherfuckers are like talking about ditching on your child support. Don't do that. I know the woman ditched you, and the kid now is following suit, and every time you talk to the kid, they're probably sour to you or negative or cold. I know what that feels like. One-word conversations, yeah. Where you talk and they go, okay, come on. I go back and I look at all my errors of what happened to me, and I know exactly what I did. I know that I was a pain in the ass. So when I'm not sure if my dad sent my stepmother, sicked her on me like that, but when I came back from Kuwait, like, this woman doesn't know me. I never met her before. He got married to this girl, this lady, who apparently was an abused woman. I'm sure who started those fights, and I'm sure who hit first. And I'm pretty sure how that worked out. I'm also sure that she made sure her kids knew their daddy was a wife abuser. I guarantee you they knew that because that would keep alienation valid. Alienation of the father. Alienation of the father has become what we may have as a collapse in civilization. It's from alienation of fathers. Y'all wanted to be the boss chick and all this stuff. Look how that worked out. Great job. Oh my God. Now I look at the States and I'm like, men are trying to be women and women are trying to be men, and then say men can have babies, men can have periods. People are out of their minds. Why in the fuck would anybody want to go live there? What do you think, amigo? Would you live there? Even a dog wouldn't want to fucking live there. Well, a dog would have more rights. Because then you can identify as a whatever, crazy person. But I digress. We have to get online and talk about this stuff because veterans, they get cheated on more. When they were active duty, they were most likely more than that 30% of paternity fraud that exists in the United States. Get a DNA test, guys. Dude, they cost like $24.99 at CVS, Walmart, and Walgreens. Listen, we were the trailblazers in Colombia. We were the trailblazers from Panama as military members. On leave, you could go anywhere you wanted to within a radius. Well, Panama just happened to be within the radius of Colombia. Now, in Panama, what my boys noticed is that the prettiest prostitutes were from Medellin. That's why when we went on a mission to Panama to take out Noriega, and one of the homeboys put his feet on Noriega's fucking desk with all his pistols and shit. So you guys know I wasn't in that fucking... That was in 89. I was in the 9th fucking grade. No goddamn way, Panama. Panamanians are former black people from Jamaica, from the West Indies, all these islands, Africa, a lot from the Middle East. Africans from the Middle East, and they ended up in Panama. Now, as you may or may not know, there was a black population from the leftover slave population that was in northern Colombia, in Quibdó, Choco, on the coast of Colombia, and it's a quick trip up to Panama for jobs for the Panama Canal at the turn of the century. Now you go to Panama. The entire population of Panamanians is black. It is that mixture of West Indies, African, many of the Arabs. So you get a very attractive, very interesting, lovely, pretty eyes. They have big baby doll eyes. They don't have this stupid... Yeah, they do those too, by the way. That's a thing. So don't come down here thinking nobody's going to put a fucking wig on their head or glue shit to their eyelashes. However, they are the kind of people that if you were to say, I don't like fake fingernails, I don't like these that look like a clown, and I don't like wigs. And they'll go, okay, amor. And that's the end of it. Not this, fucking miss my hair, I bought it. Fuck you. Fuck you. These men deserve better than you. These men deserve wives that know how to be wives because they watched their mother be a wife. Thank you, Kevin Samuels. I appreciate your message to me. When I tuned in to Kevin Samuels for the first time, I was actually in the room with a woman who was living with me for a year that was an abuser. And I had Kevin Samuels on the TV set on YouTube. And this woman is hearing Kevin Samuels talk about her. And she turns to me. This guy's, I don't want to say what she said, is full of shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And that is the moment I knew. That was the moment I knew. He knew what he was talking about. I was like, thank you, Jesus. This guy, I listened to fucking hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of his podcast because here's the story. I was staying in Puebla. I was out in a cabin in the woods for 45 days. During that time, I didn't have water. I didn't have electricity. I didn't have Wi-Fi. Didn't have internet, nothing. What I did have was my 2 dogs, 4 or 5 bags of survival food, survival kits, changes of clothes, dry socks, and pairs of boots. And during that time, I got to listen to Kevin Samuels for about 45 minutes a day. I would go down into the city, and I would sit in a cafe, which, by the way, we have lovely cafes in Mexico, with the laptop, plug it in, put my headphones on, and sit and literally go to class. and learn about all the shit that I have been going through for every single relationship in the past. Every single one of them fit a criteria of some kind of the type of women that I picked. And I realized that I picked the same type of women that my father had picked. Whores, prostitutes, alcoholics, abusers, manipulators, broke bitches. And I realized I was picking all those things. And every single time I would meet some bitch that wasn't broke, who had a father, who had a family, I never quite understood why it never worked out for me and those girls, and why I wasn't attracted to those girls who weren't all fucked up and broken. Girls with trauma. Now I would tell every man, if this girl has no father, if she did not grow up with her father, don't even go out with her. If she has tattoos, don't go out with her. If she's over 30, don't go out with her. If she has a child with another man, don't go out with her. So you see what I'm saying? Like, take the father out of the house. This is what you end up with. A collapsing civilization of people that are giving birth control to 6-year-old boys. I'm not playing. School boards that are allowing pornographic material to be read by children in middle schools in the library at the schools. Not just normal pornographic stuff. All the stuff that doesn't make procreation. Y'all can do what you want, but fuck you, man. You can't bring that in. That was a plant. That's got to be some insane person, or it has to be something that is intentionally done to see how far they can push the line back. That's madness. What is the deal with, you see, the Passport Bros isn't all just black, it isn't all whites. It isn't all Spanish people or Asians, which we have. These are just bros. Now, my part over here, which is Veterans Without Borders, veterans don't have colors, and we don't restrict people in conversation or any that shit. Like, I'm going to tell you this. If I was a black guy on a Passport Bros video in the comments, I would get less likes from everyone in general, being a white dude, than if I was a black dude. And that the level of value may be different, but the message is clearly the same. I never had a problem. I like everybody's shit. And it's not because I'm pandering to anybody. It's just I'm built that way. I mean, I don't know. I never dealt with this shit, so I'm sorry you had to. But isn't that kind of weird you would turn around and do that to me? I don't know. I don't discriminate. Except when it comes to fat women. They don't get jobs working with me. I'm allowed to do that. Fat discrimination. And there's a lot of fat ones here, boy. Let me tell you what. Oh my God. You think you got some hogs up in the United States? We got some down in Mexico too. So if any of you guys are into that, they got beards. So something strangely like, there's like a lineage of a certain type of fat person that is here in Mexico. You could see the ass front. You know what I'm talking about? The ass in the front. That's disgusting. But there's not a lot of those specific ones, but those are the ones that are big standouts. What you don't see is people pushing 250. You see fat ones around 200 pounds, but never like super obese like you see in the States that are like 400. And then the ones that are in bed, stuck. They got to take a wall out of the fucking house and put them in a forklift and take them to the hospital. Man, I'm hoping that we can get up to 1,000 subscribers. I don't really am at this point now where, look, if you're going to come down and do the program, you know what it is. If you're a veteran returning from overseas, coming back to U.S. civilization, you may not want to go back there. You want to process in overseas. You want to out process. You want to set up your banking and go see your family. Get you a mailbox. Get you a mail forwarding service. Get you an 800 number set up. Get your Cash App set up. A VPN. Get a VPN. Get an encrypted computer. Maybe run Linux Mint on it. Run Tor. I mean, if you're paranoid. No one's looking for you, by the way. No one gives a shit. If you're breaking laws and people snitch on you, you're a dumbass. But if you are more concerned about people stealing your data and your banking information, yeah, you can do that. I just give you everything. So whatever. Oh, get you an external hard drive. External hard drives down here in the South are extremely expensive compared to the States. You can get 2 or 3 of them on Tiger Direct for the price of 1 down here. Get a hard drive because you're going to be taking lots of pictures, lots of videos. Your phones will fill up in heartbeat, so you can transfer all that. I got to do that myself so many times now. Man, well, I got any questions, just hit me up. It's Veterans Life at protonmail.com. And this is the Professor, and I'm out.